I'm Luna, 27 years old and completely smitten with George, my charming, irresistible husband. We're newlyweds, still riding the high of those early married days, soaking in every sweet, surreal moment. It's been an emotional whirlwind, but before I get carried away, let me rewind to the beginning. George and I, we're not your average lovebirds. Both of us were born into the lap of luxury, part of New York's high society. But don't get it twisted. I'm not some pampered Harris with nothing but shopping on the brain. There's more to my story than red carpets and couture dresses. Our first meeting was straight out of a movie. It was at a glamorous charity ball, the kind where chandeliers sparkle brighter than stars and champagne flows endlessly. I spotted George across the room, tall, confident, magnetic. Sparks flew instantly. We talked, we laughed, we fell hard and fast. Though we shared many similarities, we also came from very different upbringings. My parents were hands-on, affectionate, and full of wisdom. George's childhood was colder. His parents were emotionally distant, always busy, with a nanny doing most of the parenting. Still, love bridges a lot of gaps, right? The proposal? Pure magic. George flew me to a private island, just the two of us. Picture the sunset painting the sky in fiery hues while he knelt with a ring in hand. I said yes, heart racing and eyes misty. When our families finally met, it felt like oil meeting water. They were civil, sure, but the tension was there. We dove into wedding planning, and thank goodness for Cassie, my fabulous maid of honor and absolute rock throughout the madness. Then came the more delicate task, inviting our parents personally. My folks lived overseas, so a quick visit wasn't possible. But George's parents, right in the heart of Manhattan, living large in their Upper East Side penthouse. One sunny afternoon, we paid his mother, Diana, a visit. His father was out of town, as usual, closing some high-stakes business deal, so it was just the three of us. Diana had always been a bit of a wild card, elegant, sharp-tongued, and emotionally unreadable. Our interactions were few and none particularly warm. "Hi, Mom, long time no see. How have you been?" George greeted. "George, sweetheart. And, Luna, how thoughtful of you two to drop by. I brought some of your favorite macarons, and here's a formal invite to the wedding. We know you'll be there, but we wanted you to have one anyway." Diana glanced at the invitation. October 14th. Yes, and we couldn't be more excited. "Well, darling, I wish I could be there, but I can't. I have a trip to Florence that week. It's been booked for months, flights, reservations, the whole shebang. I can't back out now. You understand, right? Girls' trips are sacred. Mom, this is my wedding. I'm your only child. And I adore you, George, but I've missed other events too, like your graduation, and things turned out okay. That's different. This is our wedding," I added gently, "your family. Luna, don't take this personally. My life doesn't revolve around weddings. Too much fuss and drama. I do wish you both well. Mom, can't you reconsider?" George tried again. "My mind's made up. I'll send your father in my place." "Thanks, I guess." As we left her place, I was furious. Diana had a history of bailing on George, but skipping his wedding for a leisure trip. That was low, even for her. George tried to mask it, but I knew he was deeply hurt. This day was everything to him, and her absence was a blow he hadn't seen coming. George had told me enough stories to know how much her absence had scared him. She mastered the art of appearing loving just long enough to keep him hoping, but she always disappointed him in the end, and now, history was repeating itself. That night, after George drifted off to sleep, I made a call I knew he wouldn't approve of, straight to Diana. "Luna, what on earth are you calling for at this hour?" she said, clearly annoyed. "I just wanted to speak with you. I'm asking, no, begging, you to come to the wedding. It would mean the world to George. He's told me how often he's felt let down by you, and today was no different. So now you think it's your place to lecture me about raising my son? Who do you think you are? I'm not accusing you. I'm simply hoping you'll see how much this matters. I'm not trying to rewrite the past, just give you a chance to be there for him now." "Well, let's be clear about something. Stop calling me Mom or pretending we're close. I've never liked you, and frankly, I don't think you're good enough for my son. He's brilliant, refined, and you're average at best. I love him. He loves me. That's what matters." How sweet. But here's a reality check. Marriage isn't a fairy tale. You'll see. And when it all comes crashing down, don't say I didn't warn you. If being with George means facing storms, then I'll face them all. Suit yourself, darling. Just don't expect a warm welcome into our family. That conversation sealed it for me. Diana had no intention of ever seeing me as part of their world. I chose not to burden George with what she'd said. No sense in adding more stress before our wedding. The next few weeks flew by. Everything felt surreal, smiles on the outside, a storm brewing inside. I finally understood what it meant to play the role of the glowing bride while swallowing frustration and fury. At last, the big weekend arrived. We booked out an entire hotel for our guests, including hosting our rehearsal dinner and the wedding itself there. Everyone was buzzing with excitement, except for the empty seat beside George's dad. Diana's absence was glaring and people noticed. After all, this was supposed to be her night to shine with her son. And then she appeared, striding in like she owned the room, dressed to the nines, with a smirk on her face. "Well, don't you two look like a magazine cover? Almost makes me believe in fairy tales," she quipped. "Mom? What? I thought you were in Florence," George asked, stunned. "I leave in the morning, but I couldn't resist attending the rehearsal dinner since I'm still in town. It's such an important event after all." "Yes, we're glad you're here. Mom, this is Luna's best friend, Cassie, maid of honor." "Pleasure," Cassie offered politely. "Likewise," Diana replied coolly. "This hotel really is lovely. Such taste." And just like that, the show began. "Oh, I've seen my fair share of luxury, Casey. This place isn't anything special." "By the way, George, can we talk for a moment?" Luna asked. "Casey, would you excuse us?" George and Diana walked away, leaving Casey and me standing awkwardly. "Your mother-in-law seems challenging," Casey remarked. "You have no idea, Casey. I don't even know what she's doing here," I replied, tension creeping into my shoulders. Diana eventually left the hall. I quickly asked George, "Where did she go?" "Oh, she needed to freshen up, so I gave her our room key," he replied. That freshening up came at a hefty price. The next morning, the wedding day, was supposed to be filled with joy. Instead, it felt like a disaster. My Vivienne Westwood wedding gown had vanished. I tore through the suite, hoping to find it hiding somewhere, but no luck. Tears welled up as the realization hit. My wedding dress was gone. Could anything be worse? I called my parents, who were in the next suite, and they promised to help. I texted George, but it would be a while before he could check his phone, thanks to the no seeing each other before the ceremony rule. Casey suggested we go to the nearest bridal shop and grab whatever white dress was available. It wasn't my dream gown, but it was better than nothing. Standing in the shop, surrounded by beautiful gowns, the sinking feeling in my chest grew. The replacement dress was nice, but it wasn't the one I had dreamed of. While I got dressed, an idea began to form. Diana had paid a visit the night before. She didn't exactly like me, and the thought hit me like a lightning bolt. Could she be behind the disappearing dress? It sounded just like something Diana would do, her parting shot before the wedding. I couldn't prove it, but it was too suspicious. Diana was the only one who had been alone in our suite. I called her. "I was waiting for you to call, Luna," she said, sweetly as ever. "What did you do, Diana? Are you out of your mind?" "I did what I could to stop this wedding." "You're insane. Do you realize how mad George is going to be when he finds out?" "George can't marry you, Luna. I won't allow it." "George is marrying me today, Diana. Nothing will change that." "This is just the beginning, Luna. Prepare yourself." "You keep saying that, but it won't matter. I must have done something right for George to choose me. I can't believe he's marrying someone like you." "Well, believe it, because it's happening today. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a wedding to attend." Despite Diana's antics, nothing could ruin our happiness. Our wedding was like a fairy tale. Seriously, everything was perfect. Flowers everywhere. George looking dashing, and me walking down the aisle in my last-minute gown, which actually turned out to be stunning. My dad walked me down the aisle, and George shed a few tears. Our vows were heartfelt, promising a lifetime of love and support. As we exchanged rings, I realized this was just the beginning of our epic journey together. Then came the reception, a fancy, champagne-filled celebration with heartfelt toasts from family and friends. The room overflowed with love. After all the dancing, George and I retreated to our honeymoon suite, alone at last. We couldn't stop grinning. We were officially married, and it felt amazing. We had planned our honeymoon for a month later due to George's work commitments, which was fine by me. I hadn't told him about his mom's trick. I wanted to handle Diana after her little vacation. A few days after our wedding, George was back at work, and I was enjoying the bliss of newlywed life. But then my phone rang. I looked at the caller ID, and of course, it was Diana. "Luna, honey, it's Diana. I've made a terrible mistake. I got pickpocketed in Florence, my passport's gone, and my friends all left. I'm stuck here. Your dad's a diplomat in Italy, right? Can you help me?" "What family, Diana?" "Diplomat or not, it doesn't change what you've done. You made it clear I'm not your family. Remember all those things you said to me before the wedding?" "Luna, please, I'm desperate. I need help." "Desperate or not, I'm not helping you. You missed the wedding for one of your endless trips, stole my dress, and now you want help when it's convenient? No, Diana. Goodbye. My dad is indeed a diplomat in Italy, and I grew up in Rome before moving to New York City for school. Helping Diana? Not happening." I was anxious about George coming back because I needed to tell him everything. I fidgeted in our living room, waiting for him. When George finally returned, I couldn't avoid the truth anymore. "George, I need to tell you something." "Oh, what is it?" "Your mom, she's the one who stole my wedding dress. She admitted it herself. She didn't want me to be part of the family. She tried to ruin everything." "Luna, I'm so sorry. That's unacceptable. I'll deal with this when she comes back." "There's more. Diana called me today. She said she was pickpocketed and wanted my dad's help getting back here. I told her no." "Good. She deserves it. Let her deal with her mess. We're not bailing her out." After all the drama, George and I enjoyed our European honeymoon. We traveled across romantic cities, Paris, Venice, Rome, making memories that would last a lifetime. We even visited my parents in Rome. While sipping coffee in Paris, we got a message from George's dad. It was from Diana, texting from her husband's phone. She'd managed to get home after 2 months. George had a good laugh. Honestly, we couldn't care less. When we returned home, Diana tried to reach out, but we decided to keep our distance. She wanted reconciliation, but George and I were firm. Our happiness came first. 4 months into our marriage, George and I were stronger than ever. We had grown, laughed, cried, and supported each other through everything. Our love story was real, messy, and uniquely ours. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Stay stunned.